Subtle skills, big results.
Welcome to the Ninja Selling Podcast.
Hey everyone, it's your good friend Eric Thompson. This is the Ninja Selling Podcast. Thank you so much for listening, for engaging with us today. This is going to be a good one, you guys. I am looking forward to this because I am joined by two very special people. First, I'd like to introduce everyone to Lori Chamberlain. Lori is a ninja. She's been a ninja for several years. She's going to have some incredible takeaways, some amazing things that she's doing, producing amazing results. Say hello, Lori.
Hi, Eric.
It's so good to have you here, Lori. Lori, quickly share where you're located in the company that you're with.
I'm in West Jordan, Utah, and I run my own brokerage. We're a small little brokerage of 8 agents, and we're here in West Jordan, Utah, which is just outside Salt Lake City.
Okay, just outside Salt Lake City. It's a beautiful place, and we are so grateful that you are here today, Lori. Thank you so much. And then we are also joined, you guys, by Lori's coach. It's Lisa Connors, our ninja coach. So welcome, Lisa.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here.
We are happy that you are here. And I think everyone's going to be happy with what they're going to learn today because you are going to hear about 2 main themes. So here's the deal, everyone. You are going to learn how to turn real estate reviews into transactions. I'll tease this a little bit. You're going to learn how to turn 80 real estate reviews into 15 transactions. That's number 1. Number 2 thing you're going to learn today from Lori is you're going to learn how to turn events into raving fans. This will be takeaway rich. Anyone who's thought about doing real estate reviews needs a boost, needs some motivation, needs encouragement, needs to hear if these indeed do work. You're going to hear that. Anyone who's been thinking about events and how to do them and what kind of results they can expect from those events, you're going to hear all about that. So Lori, thank you again so much for being our guest today. Thank you for being a ninja coaching client. You've been working with Lisa for 2 years, which is fantastic. And let's just dive in to real estate reviews. We're going to set the stage by you sharing results from some recent activity that you did. Okay, so in the month of October, and we're recording this, by the way, in January 2025. So in the month of October 2024, Lori, you did how many real estate reviews?
80.
80. That's 80 with an 8 in the front of it and 80. If people are wondering why and how and oh my gosh, don't worry, we'll get to that about what motivated Lori to do 80 in a month and how to even do that. We're going to cover all that, never fear. But Lori, from those 80 real estate reviews that you did in the month of October, we're sitting here today again in January. How many transactions, either that you're currently working on or coming in the near future, resulted from those 80 real estate reviews?
15.
15. So what's fascinating about this, what I'm really enjoying about this when we do the math, is that that's a 19% return. All right. So from those 80 real estate transactions or real estate reviews, 15 transactions were created. And that's 19% of the 80 have already turned into some activity for you, Lori. And what we teach people, what we let them know to expect is that if they do them through the mail, which is how you did these, and we'll get into that again, they should expect 15%. And Lori, you exceeded that. So bravo. We're going to get into all the hows on this and what you did to follow up, which is very creative and also really, really easy for anyone to do. But why don't we share, let's get into why you did 80 in a month. Lisa, I'm gonna have you share what you did for your clients in the month of October. Tell us about what you laid out for all of your ninja coaching clients in the month of October.
Okay, so in the month of October, I proposed to all my clients that they try to accomplish 40 real estate reviews in October. And ideally, I wanted to stick with our Ninja 9 and do 2 reviews per week live in person. And then the rest could be mailed using our mail phone call follow-up system. So that was the idea, to set everybody up for success, to end the year well and start the new year really strong. And I picked October because there are 31 days in October. And I wanted, as I said, to have a strong finish and a really strong start and set everybody up for success.
Absolutely. And you wanted your clients to get some results, and you know that this stuff works, and we know that real estate reviews work. And so you mapped out that challenge. And so, Lori, the mission was to do 40, yet you did 80. You told me one reason why is because you're a really competitive person. So what what motivated you to do 80? There you were. Lisa gave you a challenge to do 40, but you did 80 in the month.
Well, the beginning of the year was kind of rocky. My father had been diagnosed with cancer, and I'd spent quite a few months with him in the hospital. And so my sales were non-existent. Well, I shouldn't say non-existent. I did have some sales, but they weren't what they normally would be because I wasn't really focusing on real estate. I had made a goal with Lisa that I would get all of my A-plus clients, all my favorite people, real estate reviews for the year. And I was feeling that promise that I had made to Lisa, and we were already in October and I wasn't even halfway through. I counted out and I needed 80 more to get to be complete through my list by the end of the year. And I promised myself I'd never do this again, but it was the goal. And then she added the challenge on it and I just took it.
You accepted the challenge.
Yes, she did.
Mm-hmm.
Terrific. That's terrific. So bravo. So you use this challenge as something to spur you on and fulfill that promise. And we respect that mindset. You're someone who keeps their promises, and you said, you know what, I'm going to do it. This is my chance to have all of my A-plus clients to receive a real estate review in the year of 2024. That was your goal. And so you use this challenge to make that happen. So tell us, Lori, how you used to feel about real estate reviews and kind of how Lisa helped, let's say, elevate, modify, transform your mindset on these, because you were not always a raving fan of real estate reviews, right?
No, I had been to Insta installations and I had been through all of the training on those, read the books each year, listened to different things. Actually listened to the podcast too and heard how great they were. And Lisa would tell me about all her other clients that were doing real estate reviews and having amazing results from them. But I would get to the point of printing them off and then go to call them to set up the appointment. And that's where I'd stumble. And it was literally just fear of making the next step to calling. I didn't want to bother. I didn't want to be salesy. All of those inside thoughts in your head that aren't true. I just ripped off the Band-Aid. Lisa was on me for a solid year to do this. She was so patient with me. I finally just ripped off the Band-Aid and did 4 with people I knew would love it no matter what it was, right? You always have those top clients. They're not related. It wasn't my mom, but the top clients that would be really receptive to anything I presented to them. So I said, I'm trying something new. I need you to be really honest with me and tell me what your thoughts are on this, because I'm trying to decide if I want to keep doing this. And so I was able to meet with 2 out of the 4. And out of those 2, one of those listed, like within 2 months. And I was sold. I was like, it wasn't that hard. I really was in there 20 minutes. I promised them 15 to 20 minutes. And I was able to go through the real estate review so quickly, but they wanted to show me the whole house since I was there and I hadn't seen the new update. And then it turned into a little bit longer and I left. And then just a little bit while later, they're like, we got thinking about this. This is a great idea. We want a list. We didn't know our house was worth that much. So
such a classic, such a textbook story that I love it. And everyone, that's a takeaway. So if you've been hesitant to start real estate reviews, a really great way to start is to pick people that you know will be very receptive, will give you all kinds of grace, all kinds of permission, and will be very open-minded to whatever it is you have to share. And you could even treat it like practice. And Lori, that's what you did. I smiled when you said that Lisa was patient with you for a year, and I'm guessing it was a wonderful blend of patience and strong encouragement, right? Do I have that right? Was it a nice blend of that?
It was every 2 weeks going, hey, did you do those real estate reviews? Did you try that?
Yeah.
Have you thought about trying the real estate review? She
Yeah.
she asked that question in every way possible
Yeah.
for a solid year.
Yeah.
I think also, I think we did some mindset work, Lori, where it was
We did.
kind of more about like, what's the worst thing that can happen? And how can you bring value? And is this really about you or is it about them? And let's make it about them and bring value. And I think that was a shift in your mindset.
It was. That was my aha moment, that I was making it all about me and my fears and not what about what I'm going to, how I can benefit and what a benefit I can be if I actually did this.
Yes. And everyone remember that when you find yourself apprehensive, when you find yourself full of a lot of fear, likely what's happening is you're focusing on you, you're not focusing on them. So put all the focus on them, put all the focus on the value that you bring and how much they are going to appreciate the real estate review. That is the solution to fear that you're having. Fantastic. Okay, so one thing I just want to address in case anyone is thinking this, who's listening, if anyone is saying, well, my gosh, there's no way I'm going to do 80 real estate reviews in a month. Well, that's okay. What would happen if you did 80 in a year? Would you be okay with 80 over the course of a year turning into 15 transactions? I'm guessing that you would. And also, Lori, you've proven that it is possible to do 80, but I think you would even say you're not
Don't
sure
do
if
it. Don't do it in 1 month.
yeah, I was gonna say you would probably say don't do it in a month.
Spread it out.
Spread it out is better. Yeah, but let's get into how you did this and what it looked like specifically, because I think that the way that you did this was great, and that it's a very straightforward process. It's something that anyone could do, and it's your process that produced the results. What we know is just putting it in the mail without any follow up is not going to work. It will not produce the results that Lori got. The reason why Lori got these results, again, 19% of the 80 turned into transactions pretty much right away, is because of her process. So let's do this. Why don't you share with everyone, how did you do these 80 in a month?
I need to step back a few months. In August, I went to a Ninja Now installation in Colorado. And I picked up a lot of information from other people and what was being discussed there. And I realized I needed help in doing these 80. There's no way I would physically get those all done. So I hired a neighbor girl who was 16 to come in a couple hours a week and to fill out the envelopes, get all the postage, and pre-stuff them with the information that was already standard, the national information. And then I would do the very specific information and get it mailed out. So she would put in the cover page, my letter explaining what it's all about, and then 3 or 4 pages from the FHFA. And then she would set those on my desk. And she had a set number that she had to get through each week for us to make the 80 in October. And she was all up for the challenge, except for she's 16. And so I had to show her after the first batch got set on my desk. We had to redo that. I had to show her how to address an envelope and where everything went on an envelope because she had never mailed out anything.
So an extra benefit from this is that you taught a 16-year-old how to address an envelope.
Yeah.
Bravo. Hey, real quick, if people are wondering, they heard Lori mention Ninja Now, and people were saying, wait, what's that? Ninja Now, what's that? What that is, if you don't know, it's our brand new 2-day live workshop. Go to the website. You can see we have several now that are on the books, registration open. It's perfect for anyone who's been through the 40 installation, needs a ninja shot in the arm, a boost, plus some brand new content. That's what Ninja Now is. And I just wanted to clarify that, Lori, in case people were wondering.
Yeah,
but,
that was great.
Yeah, so
that's a perfect explanation because that's what I needed after having spent months in a hospital, not focusing with my dad, not focusing on anything real estate, and not having my head in the game. It really, Lisa said, you have to go to this. And it was really, really helpful.
Amazing.
Yeah, to be able to get my head back wrapped into it. And then I was really enthused and excited to start the real estate reviews. And that's probably why the 80 came about too. I was like, yeah, let's do this.
Yeah,
definitely
you
a
were
shift.
charged up. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. Okay, so one way to do someone's running, well, how do you do 80 in a month? One way is to get help. So you're really smart to do that, Lori. You found someone to help you out to do some of the things that were going to be very routine and that every single one of the 80 would include. You got someone to help you to do that. So then off they go in the mail. And so walk us through your follow-up to these, because again, everyone, these don't work if you're not following up. They do not work.
Yeah, they do.
So how did you do your follow-up?
So I made a list on my calendar of who I mailed out. We also track. I have a CRM, so we tracked. That was one thing that my little helper did. She would go into our CRM and log in when we mailed it out, or when she set it on my desk. So I knew that was also like I needed to get it in the mail quickly because the CRM said I sent it when she put it in. So it was just a little bit more pressure for me to actually physically do it. And so once I put it in the mail, about 3 to 4 days after that, I would send them a text message, remind them to go and get their mail if they were like me. Sometimes it would sit in there till the mailman said, please come and empty your box. And then I would say, hey, go out and get your mail. There's something in there that I want you to look over. I'm trying something new. I want to get your opinion on it. If you could just look through it and let me know if you found this helpful, if it's something you would like to see every year. This is something I'm trying that's new. I could use some feedback on it.
Genius. Okay, so I just want to pause there, Lori, because in a very few sentences, you've done some really important things in that dialogue. It's very ninja, by the way. So you introduced it as something new, because it was for you. It was something new.
Yeah.
And then that helps agents who are kind of hung up on, oh gosh, this is going to be a brand new thing, and how will people receive it? Well, just introduce it as something new. That's what you did. You said, I'd like your feedback. So you're enrolling them and asking for their help. I'd like your help. I'd like feedback, and like to know did you find value in this? So you're teeing up so many wonderful things in a very ninja way. And everything you did there, of course, is the opposite of salesy, right? The opposite of salesy is to be helpful. The opposite of salesy is to do it with questions. You're just introducing as something new. And so tell us about the text that you got back. Like how was that received?
It was received really well. I did receive, the funny thing is, out of all these 15 transactions, only one of them that responded. Now that I think about that, everybody else didn't comment, but it sat on their counter for months until I showed up at their door.
Months or weeks. Yeah.
It out.
Yeah. So they didn't respond. The majority did not respond right away. So that's a takeaway for everyone. Because sometimes, Lisa, we see ninjas who say, okay, I'm gonna start these real estate reviews, and then they start, maybe, they do their first 2 from their Ninja 9, and maybe they do 2 more the next week, and then they say back to us, well, wait, it didn't work. And it's not about doing 2 one particular week. It's about doing a lot of them, right? So how do you work with someone, Lisa, when they're expecting those immediate results, and how do you coach them through that?
Right. It's such a great question. So consistency over time yields results. And real estate reviews are not a quick fix, kind of like a solution to, I want to go find a contract this week. A real estate review probably isn't going to get you there, but you're planting seeds and you're bringing value to your people. And that's the key.
Right. So with Lori, it's not the fact that she did 1, it's the fact that she did 80.
Right.
And from those 80, 15. It was, so I guess that in a month, I guess it was kind of a quick fix because it was a month. So if you do want a quick fix, if you want results in a month, and then do 80 in a month.
Maybe a couple of months down the road.
Yes.
And now we're in January.
They all went out in October.
Right.
And I did start I only got 1 phone call in November. The rest all came end of December, beginning of January.
Now you're swimming in abundant opportunity in January.
That's right. Yep. So you have to be patient, give it time, let that seed grow, and this stuff works, right? This stuff works. And Lori, you said something interesting to me when we were game planning for this podcast. You said a common response, or a common thing you were hearing from your clients regarding real estate reviews is they said, you know what, we just kept thinking about it. Right. Yeah. And that is something that you heard often from them.
Yeah.
Yeah. We just kept thinking, we kept
Yeah.
thinking about the value of our property. We kept thinking about what you shared. And then we finally decided to reach out to you, right?
Yep. Yeah. That
Yeah.
was said by quite a few. And so having it in the paper, not emailing it, I don't think I would have got any of this response had I emailed all this information. But I think having it sitting there in a paper where they could share it with each other, look at it again, and then think about what they could do with that equity that was sitting there in a
Yes.
paper on their counter.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. Yes. I'm so glad you shared that, Lori, because guys, here's the deal. Email does not work. And there may be exceptions to that are out there. But if you think email is a solution, emailing the real estate review, what Lori just shared is one of several reasons why email does not work. If you email it, there's no way it's going to sit around on the counter for them to look at and think about. If it's two people in a relationship, it's not getting passed back and forth between those two people living in the household or multiple people living in the household. Hey, look at this.
Yeah.
Look what Lori sent us. What do you think? Wow, so interesting. And so if it's an email, you never give the chance for that to happen. So don't email them. So Lori, bravo for taking Lisa's coaching and mailing them.
Yep.
Okay, so anything else? I'll ask you, Lisa, anything else regarding what you watched Lori do with this challenge, or as you watched her make this evolution with real estate reviews? Just want to ask you that before we transition over to events. Anything else, Lisa, that you'd share about real estate reviews?
Yes, I think one of the things that came as a byproduct of this is that Lori really refined a system that's repeatable and manageable and something she can do going forward all the time. And I do remember her vividly saying after this challenge, wow, 2 a week is so easy. It's going to be a piece of cake, right? It was like, wow, a light bulb moment because now I can do this. I've got a system in place. I know how to do it. I'm getting great conversations, bringing value to my people, and the results will come.
Absolutely.
And the proof's in the pudding here in January.
This stuff works.
And I'm much faster after doing 80.
Oh, I bet. Yes.
Very quickly now.
Yeah. Lots of practice. Okay. So speaking of this stuff works, we're going to shift over to events. This is something that works really well for you, Lori. It works to build a clientele of raving fans. You're a true ninja, the way that you approach this. Everyone should know that Lori is accustomed to doing every year in the neighborhood between 30 to 40 transactions. This is a big reason why, Lori, you told me that, and the why being events. So you do lots of events. Yes. And there's one that you do consistently every year, and then the rest you kind of mix up, and we'll talk about these to give people ideas so that they can think about how they might do their own event in their own authentic way based on some things that Lori is doing. But Lori, let's start with what's the one that you do every year?
For Easter egg hunt.
The Easter egg hunt.
I was actually out of state for 1 year, but we flew in for the Easter egg hunt. I will not miss the Easter egg hunt for anything. And that is the Saturday before Easter. We have a park in our neighborhood that we take over. And we have 400 to 500 people that come for the Easter egg hunt.
Awesome. So, and this has been an 18-year tradition. So you have 500 people there, park nearby your home. And you do a lot ahead of time to announce this and to get people there, get them excited. Walk us through some of the things that you do to announce it.
In our brokerage, our goal is it's not however many people come to the event. It's how many touch points can you get before you get to the event. And that's the goal. So we send out invitations to the Easter egg hunt. We'll put it on social media. For the neighbors that are not my A+ clients, we'll text the A+ clients to make sure they've got the invitation, that they know where they're going, even though it's every year. We try and call and make sure that they know when it is this coming Saturday, because Easter fluctuates. Sometimes it's March, sometimes it's April. So we always want to make sure they're aware when it's coming up. And then we just buy everything at Sam's Club. Like we buy the entire Sam's Club.
Right. And you also buy things for the adults. So tell us.
Oh, yeah.
Tell us about, so obviously tons of kids there. So the for the parents and grandparents, aunts and uncles, et cetera, that are there to watch the kids? How do you take care of the adults?
So we had to word it it took us a while to get the wording correctly on the invitation. So it didn't sound like an interesting adults only party. But we do have the adult hunt at the end after all the kids, and we let each age group go at a time. And we cordon off a big area and we just throw down candy and little Oriental trading stuff all over and just cover the area for the kids to get stuff. Meanwhile, we have a whole adult section off to the end. After all the kids are done, all the adults stay because we realized they were kind of peeling off and we were losing people before it was over. And so we wanted to be able to talk to more people. So we had the adult hunt. And we've tried a bunch of different things, and less is more in this case. One year we did have golden eggs with cash inside of it. And we announced that before it started. And that got really actually very scary. A lot of pushing, a lot of tackling. So we decided no more money. We're just keeping it to cans of soda, mostly Diet Coke out there and Dr. Pepper, and lots of big size, full size candy bars. And we just cover the area. And we found that once we started adding like 16-year-olds to the adult hunt and made it 16 and older, then it got really fun because now there's that teenager that lives down the street that's trying to get their Diet Coke. But it's so funny to watch these people die for a Diet Coke, yet they have 3 cases in their garage. But they want that Diet Coke, So it is fun. And it doesn't matter how much we put out in that area. It's gone in 3 seconds. You've got to be quick. And usually we try to find a high ground to stand up on in the middle because there's no time to get out of the area before it starts. So.
Lori, you told me you're a competitive person, so you have attracted competitive clients. It sounds who have competitive kids.
It's really funny because I've seen a video of this, Eric. Lori's husband has a drone, and he put the drone up, and it was quite a melee with the adults and the kids. And I also want to add that Lori runs this event in rain, sleet, snow, or shine. And there was 1 year, 2 years ago, I think it was, when there was a lot of snow and they still did this egg hunt. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. So no matter what, you do it because March or April and in the part of the country where you are, you cannot bank on the weather. That's great, Lori. Okay.
The kids always go up after the snow later in the afternoon, and they still glean even more whatever was trampled in the snow that wasn't collected.
That's
Once
great.
the snow melts in the afternoon, you
That's
can go
great.
back and there's a second hunt up there.
Yeah. Okay, so let's quickly touch on some of the other events that you do that are not as big but still very valuable. And by the way, everyone should know she mixes these up. These are not traditional. The Easter egg hunt is traditional. She mixes up other events. But Lori, you've done a taco truck.
That was a lot of fun, but we did it in May. It happened to be a freak snow, like cold sweep. And so everybody was purple and blue and wrapped up in jackets and blankets.
And that was at your house?
So fun. No, once again, we had it outdoor because the day before was 70. So it was beautiful the day before.
Got it. The truck was parked at your house or parked at the park?
Parked at a park.
Okay. Got it.
The park has electricity. So we just plugged it in. They could get a ticket, come and meet me and talk to me, and they could get tickets, then go up to the taco truck and turn the tickets in for as many tacos, like 3 to 4 tacos each and a drink. We were supposed to have a mariachi band, but they canceled on us because it was too cold.
Oh, no.
But it was fun. And I probably just would never have that one outside again. That one was really a lot of fun.
Yeah, it sounds like it. And the way you did the tickets is very clever. You have to come see me to get your tickets. So that gives you at least a quick touch with them, quick conversation. That makes me, Lori. Yeah.
Let me give you your ticket.
A quick hug and get your ticket for the taco. Lori, that makes me think about what you told me for the movie night that you've done. By the way, the outdoor movie night that you do, and you do something clever with that causes people to come interact with you during the movie night. Can you share what you do there?
Yeah, I usually stand by the popcorn machine because everybody can come up and get as much popcorn as they want, but it's lit there so I can see their faces a little bit better. Then we can carry on full conversations because we usually have the popcorn machine a little bit away so it's not so loud right there by the movie. That way I get to have interactions with them. If I rent out a movie theater, I don't get to talk to anybody during the movie. But if we have it outside and we provide all the snacks, they'll always come up and get all the snacks from you. And that gives me an opportunity to get those touch points in. And if I'm going to spend that amount of money or that amount of time too, I want to be able to talk to these people. I don't
Yes.
want it to just be a 15-minute feel where I don't get to interact with them.
Yes. Really smart. Really, really smart.
I think Lori's a master of interacting with her people and loving on her people.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. Tell us more about
I
that,
love-
Lisa.
love
What,
them.
from your perspective, tell us more about Lisa or Lori being so good at that.
Well, I just know from what she shared with me after these events that she's had so many incredible conversations and opportunities to learn about what's going on in her people's lives, look for change, listen for change. And, it just really strengthens the relationships that she has with all her people, and they love her.
Yes. Yeah. And it shows. I mean, the fact, Lori, that you get 500 people to show up for the Easter egg hunt shows that they love the event and they love you, and you're loving on them. They love you back by showing up for these events. I'm guessing people have had a lot of takeaways so far. Why don't we wrap up with this, Lori? Because I know there are people out there that can think about coaching and what does it look like? What would I get out of it? What's the value? Can you share, Lori, from your perspective, what have you found valuable from Lisa's coaching?
Oh, very much over the last couple of years. Someone to hold me accountable was one. I'm the broker of my own brokerage. So it was super helpful to have some accountability. She has shared, I did another one of her events this year that she came up with, and it was a great success. Just her constant encouragement. And sometimes it's just talking through ideas with her and even talking through the taco truck. She came up with a bunch of other ideas that helped bring that about. Because I said, I think I want to do something for Cinco de Mayo involving a taco truck, but I can't quite put my finger on it. And we brainstormed through it, and she was able to give me a lot of really good ideas. So I think the accountability, all the technology that she's been able to share with me, the tracker has been amazing. The business tracker, there's just a bunch of different things that has been super helpful in my business, and just keeping me accountable, knowing that in 2 weeks, I'm going to have to talk to her about what we discussed and did I do it?
Keeps you on track. And so it sounds like a great mix of accountability and also having a creative sounding board, really a strategic partner
Yeah,
in your
I
business.
think
And
that's a good way to word it.
yeah. Okay, Lisa, a question for you. And I'll start with a statement. What we know, Lisa, you and I know, coaching is not for everyone. What is it about Lori that makes her such a great coaching client? And what makes her a great coaching client is because she's getting these results. She's a blast to work with. But there's an investment in coaching. Lori's getting return on investment. So what do you see in Lori that makes that work, that makes coaching work for her?
That's such a great question. Lori is coachable. That's, I think, in
Yeah,
a
just bottom
nutshell,
line.
in one word, Lori is coachable.
Yeah.
She is open to being accountable, to learning, to really digging in and figuring things out. And she's open to creativity and, like she said, strategic ideas. We are constantly bouncing ideas off each other in our calls. And she might come with a problem, or she might come with a great win, and we kind of pick things apart and parse things apart until we get exactly to a solution that can work.
Yeah, got it. So anyone considering coaching, whether it be through Ninja or through any platform, you're thinking, would I get help from a coach? It really starts with that, Lisa. Am I coachable? And that's a mixture of, do I love to learn? Am I open-minded? There's a lot of humility that has to come with that, right, Lori? When
Absolutely.
you come to someone and say, hey, I need your help. And you have to really, really want to be held accountable and have someone help you to stay on track.
One more thing I want to add is that Lori referenced that she had some pretty major life things go on last year. And I don't want to say it derailed her business, but it definitely took her focus and attention away from her business, where she wasn't exactly at the point that she had been prior or that she is now. And so having me in her life, I think consistently to kind of be that reminder of, hey, what can we do? And what are you able to do now? And how can we make this work for you?
Yeah. We really focus on meeting people where they're at.
Exactly.
They are the agenda. And sometimes it's not the Ninja 9. Sometimes it's the Ninja 2 or 3 based on things that are happening in people's life.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Lisa was so good with that. When I was at my lowest point, she was like, what can I do for you? What is one thing you can focus on? Or even just some days it was like, what are you grateful for? And just having that to be able to think about was, was super helpful. And having her consistently there with me, knowing I could count on her, to not be judgmental at all, that I hadn't done anything for weeks, but to be able to be encouraging and understanding, that was super helpful.
That's wonderful. Lori and Lisa, I think that's a great way to finish. And what would happen if everyone listening right now, right now, thought about one thing that you're grateful for? What's something that you're grateful for? That's how we're going to finish this. Lori, I'm grateful for you for, of course, being a Ninja coaching client and all these takeaways that you shared. Bravo on your success and everything you created from the real estate reviews. Bravo for doing them. It's mindset, skill set, action that causes success. And so you got the right mindset. You honed your skills. You took the action. Absolutely. Kind of at an extreme, 80 in a month, but you got the results. So look, everyone, whether it's 80 in a month or 80 in a year, to take what you learned from Lori to go do these and make these better. Lisa, thank you for joining us also.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Lori, thank you so much for being our guest.
Thanks, Lori. So grateful for
Thank
you.
you guys.
Absolutely.
Oh, I am for you too.
Everyone, thank you for listening and for being so engaged with this podcast. We greatly appreciate it. I've been your host, Eric Thompson. I am president of Ninja Coaching. I was here with Lori Chamberlain, who's there in Utah. She is a ninja in Utah. And I've been here with Lisa Connors, a ninja coach. And we hope all of you have an amazing day. Focus on what you're grateful for. We so look forward to seeing you in the next podcast. Take care. Bye.
Bye.